Fleet Commander Vrick studied the battle footage with growing concern. The human vessel, despite being severely damaged and venting atmosphere, continued to maneuver and return fire. Impossible, he chittered to his science officer. Their life support is critically compromised. Their command center took a direct hit. How are they still fighting? Science Officer Telk adjusted her sensory appendages. Unknown, Commander. By all metrics, their central command should be non-functional. The Dravian Collective had conquered 17 species across 3 spiral arms. All followed predictable patterns, damaged their command centers, and resistance ceased. But these humans were different. Establish communication, Vrix ordered. After several attempts, a grainy image appeared. A human male, bleeding from a head wound, stared back at them. This is Captain Lewis of the UES Defiant. If you're calling to accept our surrender, you'll be disappointed. Vrix's translator struggled with the strange inflection, but the meaning was clear. Your vessel is critically damaged. Your command center is non-operational. Why do you continue fighting? The human's mouth curled upward in what their intelligence files identified as a smile, though this version contained no warmth. Because we're still here, Lewis replied simply. 3 orbital cycles earlier, the Dravian Collective had encountered humanity's expansion fleet. Initial scans classified humans as a moderate threat, somewhat technologically advanced but inexperienced in interstellar warfare. The Collective's strategy was refined over millennia. Locate the enemy's central command, destroy it, and watch as their forces became directionless and ineffective. A clean, efficient approach that minimized resource expenditure. First contact had gone poorly. The human diplomatic vessel had refused to accept the standard terms of submission. When Vrix ordered a demonstration strike against an uninhabited moon in their system, the humans had not cowered but immediately opened fire. What followed was 3 days of the most chaotic combat Vrix had ever witnessed. They've lost their flagship, but combat operations continue in all sectors, reported Tactical Officer Menz. The human vessels are fighting independently, adapting their tactics without central coordination. Vrix's exoskeleton tightened with stress. That violates all military doctrine. How can they function without hierarchical command? Their communication network is decentralized, Telk explained. Even when we sever what appears to be primary nodes, secondary and tertiary systems activate. Their information continues to flow. The human Captain Lewis had refused to elaborate further before their communication was cut off. Now his damaged vessel was leading 2 others in a flanking maneuver against Vrix's support ships. Observe, Telk said, highlighting footage from a boarded human vessel. Even when isolated from their command structure, individual humans continue to resist. They appear capable of making tactical decisions autonomously. The footage showed Dravian boarding parties encountering fierce resistance. Human crew members fought room by room, adapting to Dravian tactics without apparent orders. It's as if each human is a command node, Telk concluded. They don't shut down when the central authority is removed. By the 6th day, the Collective fleet had sustained unprecedented losses. 3 capital ships destroyed, 7 badly damaged. The humans had lost more vessels numerically, but their resistance hadn't diminished. Commander, we've captured a human officer, Menz reported. The prisoner was brought to the command deck, a female human with a uniform identifying her as Commander Jackson. Explain your species' command structure, Vrix demanded. Jackson's ID face remained impassive. Standard military hierarchy, nothing special. False, Telk interjected. We've observed your vessels continuing to fight effectively after their command centers are destroyed. Your soldiers continue fighting when separated from officers. Jackson's expression shifted to what their database identified as confusion. That's just how we fight, she said. Every sailor and soldier knows the mission objectives. If leadership falls, the next person steps up. We don't need constant instructions to keep fighting. But how do you coordinate without central command? Vrix pressed. Training. Initiative. We make decisions based on the situation in front of us. She paused. You really don't understand, do you? Your soldiers stop when their commanders die, don't they? Vrix didn't answer, but his silence was confirmation enough. The Collective's Strategic Council convened an emergency session. For the first time in 12 generations, they voted to disengage from conflict. These humans cannot be defeated through conventional means, the High Strategist declared. Their distributed cognition and decision-making capacity makes them uniquely resilient. There is no off switch to their combat capabilities. Vrix was tasked with delivering the ceasefire proposal. When the communication channel opened, he faced not one human but a panel of 5, representing different vessels and units. The Dravian Collective proposes a cessation of hostilities, Vrix stated formally. The humans exchanged glances. "We accept," said the central figure, Admiral Turner. "But understand this. Any future aggression will be met with the full force of humanity." After the channel closed, Telk approached Vrix privately. "I've analyzed all available data on human combat behavior," she said. "Their strength isn't technological, it's psychological. Every human is conditioned to function as both follower and leader. They operate on what they call commander's intent, understanding the overall objective so thoroughly that they can pursue it without explicit orders." Vrix contemplated this. A species where every individual is a potential commander? Precisely. And there's more. They exhibit increased performance under stress conditions that would incapacitate our forces. They call it adrenaline response. Essentially, damage makes them fight harder, not less effectively. One solar cycle after the ceasefire, the collective's diplomatic corps established formal relations with the human alliance. The intelligence report became required reading for all Dravian commanders. Humanity represents an evolutionary branch previously unencountered, a species that evolved as both pack hunters and prey animals. They developed both hierarchical organization and individual initiative as survival mechanisms. In combat, humans cannot be turned off by eliminating command structures. Each human carries the fight within themselves, capable of adapting, improvising, and continuing resistance beyond what our models predict as possible. Recommendation: avoid military conflict with humans at all costs. They simply don't know how to stop fighting.